They came from somewhere deeper, somewhere much deeper, and the guilt and pain that had been there before began to slowly get swept away until all that was left was truth, and not thoughts of the past anymore, but a vision of the future. Tragedy and change occurs, he knew, but with it could also be brought opportunity. And that's what he saw then. He saw what everything would lead to, what would soon be made, and he also saw the great and profound addition of that which was still yet to come, and the effect it would have on this creation and all else too. He was grateful for this new vision that he was sure had come from God, and he was also grateful for the hope it brought with it. And so, with some semblance of peace then inside him, he slowly wiped the tears from his cheek. He looked around, near where he'd been sitting. He looked at the palace next to him and the high walls. He knew that all the others were gathered inside and waiting for him there, gathered and waiting for his judgment, and before he left to give it to them, he took a moment to pause, and he looked inward again. This was now the moment, he knew. This was now the moment when everything would change, for one way or the other, and a collective future would be born and begin to take shape, and that future would grow and spread and expand into something brave and bold and new. And while this future was something he'd just seen glimpses of, only glimpses, in that collective future he'd seen, he also saw eternity. He saw eternity for both of them, and for all else that there was and would be. And it was time for that eternity now, he knew, and it couldn't wait any longer. So he finally stood, and then he began to walk. He walked towards the high walls of the palace that were there just at the edge of heaven, and then he went under them and into the great and wide courtyard where they were all gathered in a large circle. They were all there and already waiting for him, the entirety of the host of heaven, all wearing bright, shining breastplates and polished armor, with swords strapped at their sides and strung across their backs, all of these gathered angels who were dressed as warriors. And there was another that was there in their midst. He was larger and older than the others, and he seemed to shine brighter than all the rest too, and he stood with his head bowed in the center of their circle. And when the other angels saw Michael approaching, the circle parted, and Michael walked inside of it to face the one that was there waiting. They were both still for a moment, both these two angels of the same size and age and brilliance, as Michael stood in front of him. Then the angel with the bowed head spoke. "I know that you've seen it too," he said very quietly, without looking up. "I know that you've seen it, Michael, and felt it, what is to come, the same as I have." Michael hesitated, paused. He hadn't realized that the vision he'd just been given hadn't been given only to him, but rather it had been shared with another too. And though he didn't yet know why it had been shared, and this new information took him by surprise, Michael was an angel of truth, and so truth is what he spoke. "Yes," he said, nodding, acknowledging. "I've seen it. And you'll just accept his judgment?" the bright angel with the bowed head asked. "You'll just accept that all we were born for was to serve?" "We were born through his will," Michael answered. "And so it's his will that we answer to." "Then why would we be made to feel what we feel?" the angel asked, then finally raised his head, and as he looked up, his beautiful eyes flashed as they met Michael's, and they stayed there. They were irrevocably linked, Michael knew, as they were the two angels of all the entire host of heaven who had been given this vision of what was to come. Michael, the angel of strength and truth, and Phosphorus, his friend, and the angel of light. "We've been given exactly what we've been given," Michael spoke, his voice pitched lower, "and it's for reasons that are his own, as it always is and will be. So join me then." Phosphorus's eyes flashed again. "Give in to what you feel, to what we know is inside of us, both of us, and we'll rule together." "You know that I won't." Phosphorus paused then and looked back at Michael across from him, his bright and unwavering eyes filled with purpose and conviction.